So Andrew just came to me one day. I've actually got the Slack still open. He said, "What is the food that you think you could eat the most of within a 12-hour time limit?" I went for penne pasta because for some reason, if I've ever like just made pasta, I always get seconds. I don't know what it is with penne, but so I said I could eat 4 boxes in 12 hours, and and he said, "No, I probably couldn't. I think my stomach would just split.
There's no way you
start leaking penne into my cavities.
So many carbs. That's so much pasta.
But it's delicious. Then you said, what about McDonald's single burgers? I think I could, without struggle, eat 50 McDonald's dollar menu burgers in 12 hours.
I think I went in saying the hardest part would be not ordering fries as a side. I was very confident in my ability.
I then went on to say, you're an idiot, you're a fool. That's like one every half an hour. Ridiculous. That'd be 24 hours. So you're talking, like 4 an hour. Ridiculous.
I think the math ended up being I needed to eat a burger every 10 minutes for what we settled on. But
yeah.
And I predicted that after 20, you'd be seriously slowing down. So how did it go?
Well, I think we should also add there was a bet. We had a bet on this as well. Like, once we agreed, I essentially asked every person I knew because I thought I could do it and wanted to make a bet with somebody, and you're the first person that agreed to a bet. We had a $50 50 burger bet.
Yeah, I will always be willing to put up money that is, an amount that would be useful in my life and spend it on something completely pointless that I don't even get to see.
Yes, absolutely.
Like $50, I could buy an Xbox game for that. Well, most of one.
But yeah, it was a 50. If I ate all 50, we should have done like a middle if I was smart. Like if I hit 25, then we're even, and then I could progress from there. But
when did this happen, by the way?
According to my timestamps, this was March, the 9th of March.
This year.
Yeah.
This is in a fucking quarantine COVID world. You guys are right around the start
sort of. Yeah, it wasn't like a real. It was right before. I'd say it is right before it happened.
You came to me with, so it was the day before you asked me about it, about 2 p.m., 9 a.m. the next morning, we were still talking about it, and by 1 p.m., you sent me a picture of 3 bags full of McDonald's hamburgers.
Yeah, I was ready to go.
So wait a minute, am I meant to believe here that you guys started talking about it at 2 p.m. and we're still talking about it at 9 a.m., as if you gabbed through the night like 2 schoolgirls talking about cute boys in class?
I think that was a slight break. I don't think we were.
Okay.
No, there were some tough negotiations over pickles. Were pickles allowed? Could I modify the burger?
We went up there at like 3 a.m. like, tee-hee-hee.
That's important. That's a great point. What is the answer? Are they just like bog standard as they come burgers?
I modified them to my liking. So I took the pickles off, and I just felt like I took the onions off too, because it just seemed like any amount of additional food would be bad.
Do you have an issue with onions and pickles, or you were just trying to
I don't
shave
like
some
pickles.
calories?
I'm not a fan of pickles, but yeah, the onions I just felt like from a room perspective. I mean, if 50 burgers worth of onions is a lot of onion, so if I could just get rid of that, that'd be a leg up.
Onions are also, they're surprisingly high in fat content. Although I don't know that an onion in a McDonald's hamburger is a real onion.
I feel like I would keep the onion because the biggest mental block for me would be just the boredom of the flavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would maybe pull some onions out of my first 5, sling them all in my 6th one, really reset the palate.
You should have just tell the cook or the chef, just like surprise me. Give me 50. I don't want them all to be the same.
Make these as different as possible using the same ingredients.
Yeah, I don't, and pickles. Just no, I don't like pickles. I'm not a pickle guy. I don't really eat pickles. I learned like within a year that pickles were cucumbers, and that blew my mind. That was a huge revelation.
Yeah, the pickle part is the process.
Is the process, yeah.
Like a pickled onion.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was watching like some cooking video where it was like a chef making a fancy burger, and he's like, "We're gonna make our own pickles." And I was like, "How do you do that?" And he pulls out a cucumber. I was like, "There's no way. This isn't." They're not connected.
Are you a fan of cucumbers, or do you dislike cucumbers?
I have no opinion on the cucumber. I never really had a cucumber.
Cucumbers are fucking delicious, first of all.
Are they?
It's just weird to me that would make you not like pickles. When you found out it started its life as something else.
That's not necessarily why it's a texture thing mainly for me with pickles. I had no idea that I thought they were their own thing. I thought you could pull a pickle from like a tree or something at some point. Wherever pickles come from. I never thought about. I didn't think about where they came from. I just assumed that you could be in a field somewhere and find a pickle.
I love the idea of you planting pickle seeds and then it just grows as cucumber and you're like, God damn it.
It's broken. But yeah, ordered 50 burgers, no pickles, no onions.
What was the price? What was the cost?
Yeah, that's a great question. What is the price?
I had it delivered, so there's a delivery. I think it came to like $70. So even if I won the bet, I was down.
I've got the stats here. 50 hamburgers, 240 calories each. Remove pickles, remove onions. Delivery fee, $5. Total food and beverage cost, $94.50.
Really? Wow. So if I would have won the bet, I would have.
You tipped the delivery guy $18?
Yeah.
That's
Did I?
very generous of you.
Well, COVID wasn't quite a thing yet. I'm not trying to slow this story down to pad for time, although that would be awesome. But I am curious if we remove the pickle and the onion, what is left in the I would like to know what the composition of the remaining burger is.
It's just condiment. It's ketchup and mustard, I believe.
So it's all beef patty, ketchup, mustard, sesame seed bun.
Yes. Oh no, I don't think there's sesame seeds on the single. I think it's just a plain bun.
There's no sesame?
Shit.
I don't think
I guess that's just a Big Mac.
is.
I can tell you that with your onion choice, you remove 240 calories of onions.
Wow.
Surprisingly high in fat content.
That's like one whole burger less.
There is really no strategy to it beyond I assume that would take up additional space, and I was trying to most space I could possibly have. Like, you were smart talking about like the different textures. That was not a consideration. I went into this thinking it would be super easy.
I was honestly just blown away at how confident you were. Because a stomach is only so big. And look at those bags. Look at those giant bags full of food. How?
It's one thing I've always said about Andrew is he has the confidence of a much more capable man.
Yes, I do. If I think I can do something, there's a like 100%. I believe I could. There's no 50. It's like I'm absolutely gonna be able to do this. It's 0 or 100. I have no middle.
And then you did.
And then I tried it. Yeah, I was nervous. I felt bad submitting a 50 burger order. I got a letter from the people that worked there. They were like, "Thank you for such a big order. We appreciate that."
Do they appreciate that?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't think they would, but I got a letter from them saying like, "This is great. Thank you."
Kill them with Canadian kindness every time.
By 2 p.m., according to our Slack conversations, Andrew Panton says, "One bite in, I may have greatly underestimated these burgers."
Yeah. Because I have
one bite in.
I have a lot of confidence going into things, but as soon as it starts, I can kind of see my limit, and it went from "this is no problem" to I took a bite and was like, "This is a problem. This isn't." I greatly underestimated these buns. These buns are an issue.
I can't believe you didn't take a dry run at any point and just say, "Let me eat one burger and see how I feel."
Why would I do that? That makes sense. That's a good game plan.
Was the first one good?
No, the first one was fine. Yeah, I don't mind it.
So when did it get shitty? When did it get a little bit palatably boring?
7. I'd say 7 in. Yeah.
Oh, that checks out, actually. At 5:30 p.m., bowl of blackberries was introduced at Burger 8.
Yeah. I had to try to do something.
Why would you just eat some random fruit?
Because it's small.
Eat anything,
it's small.
right?
I wanted a different taste, and it was small. It's a small item to consume. I didn't think it would take up much space. I blazed through the first 5. It was
you said
impressive.
You ate 4 in 10 minutes, but
yeah.
So you were not pacing yourself.
No, why would I? This is gonna be easy.
After 4 hours, you were at 11.
Yeah, I started. I mean, the first few were no problem. Then I hit 5 or 6, and it became a problem pretty quickly. It was filling, and the taste, it was so bad, and they started getting cold. I didn't project how bad a cold burger would be.
Couldn't you have just sort of put the oven to like maybe 100 degrees and just left them in there?
That's what you want me to put 44 burgers in the oven at 100 degrees?
This is $50 on the line, Andrew.
Yeah, but I've already spent 97.
Exactly, you got to recoup some of your loss.
I'm going down 47, no matter what. Yeah, it was bad, and it just kept getting worse. At like 8 or 9, it was terrible. And I laid down. And at that point, that was the first time I thought, I'm going to look into strategy for this. I felt just so full. I was laying down, and I watched a video of like this professional eater. and he was explaining how they eat large amounts of food.
Was it like Matt Stoney or someone?
I don't remember who it was, but it essentially came down to you have a limited amount of space. So once you're out of space, you're out of space. So this is what you need to do to create more space before you do anything. And once I had that realization, I was like, I'm not hitting 50. This is bad.
Where do you create the space?
With an enema, I assume.
I mean, I guess I could have tried that. I mean, I did. I like looked into how long it takes for burgers to digest, and I wouldn't have a full like the amount of time required to get a full clear. But I mean, I think it's sort of inspirational. I just kept soldiering away. I kept hammering away, doing my best for the whole 10 hours, even though I had no chance. I'd say after the first 2 hours. Also, Gavin fucking renegotiated down to 10 hours. We started at 12. And then he renegotiated 10.
Wait, did I want 10?
Yeah, you wanted it down to 10. You're like, that looks too easy. And you negotiated down to 10.
Andrew, that's something you should know before you enter into any bet with Gavin. He will very quickly, very willingly enter into a bet with you over almost anything, and oftentimes a ridiculous sum of money on his end. Once you take the bet, the wheels start to spin. He realizes he's on the hook. Then he starts to backpedal, and that's when the price goes down and the requirements go up. 100% of the time, every time, you got to be prepared for that with Gavin.
Oh, here's what happened. I clearly lost concentration. You sent me the picture. We'd been talking about 12 hours. I said, "Shit, that looks doable. Are you going to do it in waves, or will it be a constant flow throughout the 10 hours?" And I guess just changed the number there because I wasn't paying attention. And then you were throwing a hissy fit. The bet was that I had 12 hours, but now that Mr. Rules and Regulations shows up after seeing the photo, I will do it in 10. So you took that as a challenge. You didn't just say nice typo, genius. You were like, no, I can do it in 10. So that's how that happened. Carry on.
I don't think it was a typo, and also I don't know. It just
it's manipulation, is what it is.
It felt like
gaslighting you.
I would have never agreed to that if I had a burger first. That was in my complete confidence. I thought I'd do it in like 8.
So where did it end up?
31 burgers. I ate 31 burgers over the 10 hours.
That's really not bad.
No,
it's pretty impressive.
The one additional is impressive to me. The fact that you didn't just call it a 30. You were like, I'll do one more.
Yeah, I wanted to do as many as I could. As I said, it's an inspiration. I didn't quit.
Were you still, like, set the stage. You have 10 minutes left.
I was still eating.
You're sitting on your bed surrounded by hamburger wrappers and like 22 or 23 burgers left, and you're like, how many can I cram in the last 10 minutes?
Yeah. No, that I was consistently eating. I'd take little breaks, and then I'd maybe stop for like 30, 40 minutes, and I'd kind of get a second wind, and then I'd eat 2 burgers, and I'd feel great, and then it would hit me again. It was just like a constant, it was almost like waves of like, this is the worst thing ever. I can do this. I can eat 2 more. And it was like that the entire 10 hours.
I also have the discussion here of after you lost. You said, since I lost and now owe you $50. However, the world has entered a pandemic and the economy is collapsing. In this Mad Max world, a $50 bill is useless. And then you went on to try and find something that might be worth more money. And you came up with a signed Coolio card for the 2003 Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
That is not the most easily gettable card in that set.
Which, to this day, you never sent me.
No, well, we're going to talk about that. But you never responded, first of all, so I assume there was no Coolio interest. Second of all, that's a great collectible. He's not even in that movie. He had one scene and they cut it. So it's an autograph card for a movie that the person isn't even in. Coolio has no involvement with the actual film.
That must
it's a
be
great
worth
collectible.
Way more than $50. I would love that
I bet
thing.
not.
It's a great, yeah, you can probably find online. I think it might be worth $5 is the retail evaluation. Okay,
I was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, this happened in March. You attempted to eat 50 hamburgers, failed, valiant effort. It apparently had no long-term effect on you because yesterday I found out you won a Microsoft Surface by spinning a wheel trying to win more hamburgers.
That's true. I guess I'm up. I guess my passion for I mean, if you look at it that's like a $550 tablet. I'm up. That's a great point, Jeff. Thanks. I feel good about this
Your
now.
hamburger obsession, it's getting out of control, buddy.
I don't know if it's an obsession, but I'd say my pursuit of the joy of a simple burger has led me down some bad roads and some good roads, and I'm up right now. Okay, so I lose the burger bets. As you know, I tried to sell Gavin the Coolio card. I tried to convince him. That did not work.
I don't know why I didn't reply. I assume you were messaging me while I was recording, and I just never came back to you. But I somehow want to get hold of that.
Well, it's off the table now. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
gone.
missed the window, huh?
You missed the window. It's closed. It's long.
So what are you gonna? Now that that's off the table, what are you gonna replace the $50 of value that you still owe me?
No, this is what you don't know, Gavin. I had a whole plan worked out. I came up with this whole thing. What I did, because I care. I don't like owing people stuff. I care. If I owe you something, I will pay you back. It's important to me.
Sure. Yeah.
And also, but we live in different places, and just mailing money through the mail, that seems dangerous.
Well, especially with your mail problems.
It's not like services like Venmo exist.
No. I don't know. What's a Venmo? It's a bunch of letters together. I don't know what that is.
Fair enough.
So I thought, I want to send this to Gavin because I care about him and I owe him this $50, but I want to make sure it's safe. So what I did was I bought 4 different safes online of different sizes. I bought this really tiny safe that was intended for if you're in a casino and you don't trust yourself, you can just slide the money in there. So I got one of those. I put a nice 50 in for you. Then I bought a slightly bigger safe. And I put the small safe in that safe. Then I bought another slightly bigger safe, put that safe in that safe. Then I bought a bigger, like, hotel safe with the electric lock, and I put all the safes in there. And then I locked it. No, I didn't just lock it up, because I care about you, Gavin, and I care about you getting your money. So then I bought 500 keys off of eBay and had them shipped to my house. And I took the keys for the safe and all the other safes, and I threw them all in the big safe. So there's 500 keys, and then 4 safes. Then I locked up the safe, and I was all ready to send it to you. And then the world entered a pandemic.
But yeah, that's gonna cost like $600 to send through the mail. That's gonna be heavy as shit.
It's over 20 pounds. I have weighed it.
It's a Matryoshka doll of safes and keys. Oh my god.
It's horrifying to move. It is very heavy. Weighs over 20 pounds. And my plan was, I'm going to send this to you, and then I'm going to sell you the combination so you could get your money back. So I would end up equal. That was the idea. I'd slowly sell you parts of the combination, then you'd open it, and a fucking boatload of keys would pour out, and then it would be great. It'd be hilarious. It'd be a win for me. That was the plan.
I'm so mad this never happened.
That was the plan.
How much would you have charged for the combination numbers?
Oh, I didn't figure that out. I think I'd do one at a time, and I'd be like 10, and it's a very specific combination. I was gonna leave clues. I filled it with Garfield cards too, a bunch of Garfield collectible cards. It was the whole thing. It's 20 pounds of disaster, but then the world entered a pandemic. Nobody could go outside. So I had this safe just in the corner of my room, this 20-pound bullshit safe, just for weeks.
And then you had to move house?
And then I had to move. And I had to physically move this 20-pound safe. I've definitely lost at this point. I still have the safe.
So that turned into you facing yourself.
Oh,
when you
absolutely.
were trying to face me.
Yeah, 100% blew up in my face. I didn't predict a pandemic happening. It really set me back.
Shit.
Die.
That's awesome.
It's a great plan, right? 4
That's
safes, like Russian dolling you with the safes. They're good safes too. These are not low quality safes.
Fuck.
I'm so stupid. I never even considered just like mailing the keys to like the office and having someone build the safe for me. That was a realization later. Of once I realized it was like 20 pounds, I was like, this is gonna
prefabricated this whole thing, and then you yourself have to front the cost.
You could have sent it to me, dickhead. I could have done it.
Yeah, I know you could have. Yeah, I should have. I just didn't think about that. And then I weighed it, and I was like, this is gonna cost $1 billion. I need to figure out a way to make this work. But then the pandemic happened, so I didn't have to figure it out. It's just, I'm gonna have this 20-pound bullshit safe filled with keys for months.
Keys and safes.
The worst part is it would be hard for me to even get the 50 out. Like, I don't know where the keys are. I put the keys in the safe. I can't even pull the money out. So I'm currently just withholding money from myself. I've locked myself
That hurt.
out of this whole thing.
But on a rainy day, you know there's 50 waiting for you.
That's true. That'll be a frustrating day, though, when I need that 50 and I'm going through.
I'm imagining you like taking a cab or something, and you don't have any cash, and you're like, hold on, I'll go in and I know where $50 is, and it takes you like 4 hours to get to it.
What if I go to like a casino and just put the safe down on like the table? I want 50 on red. It's in here, trust me. Don't worry
It's
about
in
it.
there. Wow, honestly, that story went in a completely different direction than I thought it was going. I had no idea about any of that.
Yeah,
I can't believe you've been holding on to that since March.
we figured I was gonna send it to you, and it could have been a video or something. But it's like no one's gonna be in a place, like in a public, like in an office, until it feels like 2025.
Would you have let me, instead of paying for the combination, would you have let me complete smaller tasks?
Like what?
To get, like, instead of me paying you like $10 per number of the combination.
Well, what would be like a smaller task? Like maybe depending on what the task
like
is.
I don't know, like just little bets where if I complete them, I don't have to pay you the money, because I kind of want to. I don't want to break even or be, in loss from this.
Like draw a penis on your forehead with sunscreen and then go lay outside for 30 minutes is it's like 2 keys or something, or 2 combinations.
Or go and like run a fart into Austin.
I didn't consider that, but I think if you would have approached me with it, I definitely would have been open to it.
That's good.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I like that we've negotiated this at every available point, to the point where it's not anywhere near what we started with the $50 for burgers thing.
I feel like, though, guys, this perfectly illustrates the need for this podcast, right? This is what it's like. This is what it's been like for the three of us to be friends for 5 or 6 years now, and it's virtually impossible to capture or film. It always goes wrong or goes awry, and then you're like, well, that was the funniest thing nobody will ever get to find out about. God damn.
Yeah. Or just even, like, sometimes it doesn't even occur to me to share this on a public level. Like, I've just been doing stuff like this for over a decade.
Yeah, honestly, if I just need to, like, keep our Slack conversations or print them or something, because it's just gold. Like, I just scrolled past some other random conversation. An excerpt is, shitting would require 4 steps.
Oh.
Yeah. That's just from another thing that you were doing.
Yeah. That was fun.
A wood ignorant man feels like he could eat a bedroom door. The idea that you think that you could ingest that is mind-boggling.
Andrew, you couldn't eat 50 burgers, and they are food.
You know, that's another thing. I think I could eat 25 doubles. I've been thinking about that.
Oh.
So you're worried that the bread content is what held you back?
I think it was the bread. I feel I couldn't actually be more confident I could eat 25 doubles. That seems like no problem at all, even after failing after the singles.
You want to make it a thing? You want to do 25 doubles in 10 hours?
Are we, well, what, okay, what do I have to gain? What's the bet here?
$50.
I'm down 50 but then I'll be down that's a lot, because I'm down on the safes.
Look, once again, Andrew, you brought this to me. You said you think you could do it.
I'm just saying I think I can do it.
Let me negotiate. How about this? Andrew, you owe Gavin $50.
I do, but I'm okay. Continue.
What if we double down? If you win the bet, that is absolved, right?
Okay.
And Gavin gives you $50. Okay, so it's initially a $100 swing.
Mm-hmm.
Your $50 debt is wiped out, and you receive $50 from Gavin. However, if you lose, you still owe Gavin the initial $50, but you must film yourself eating a leadless pencil.
But here's the issue. The other issue is the burgers. The burgers are not cheap.
Oh, so the financial value of said task.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already down on the hat.
I'll pay for the burgers. I'm happy to pay for the burgers.
Look, this is for content for this podcast. We can expense the cost of the burgers.
Couldn't expense the hats, apparently. The hats were inexpensive.
Right.
Everyone wants the hat.
It's what you do. And this is funny as well, because you basically have to fill out an expense form with face written on it. We will somehow get the company to pay for the burgers.
Yeah. I'll pay out of pocket if they won't. I don't give a fuck. I got burger money. I can do this.
Okay. I'm not opposed to this.
And also, just for the record, Andrew, I'm on your side with the hats, whatever side that is. I'm buddying up to you. Yeah.
I'm going to go back to your side on having a shitty mic.
Oh, thanks. Whatever your position is, I don't even know anymore. Who can remember from an hour ago? I'm with you. We like the blue hat, I think, is what we said. Let's go there.
Everyone wants the hats.
I'm all on my own now.
Okay. Well, I think we have a kind of a burger deal.
What do you mean, kind of? Well, let's make it official.
That's what I'm saying. Can we just go through? I'm a man of details. The details are important. Let's go through.
Here's the details then. Based on what we've talked about so far, and based on the previous bet, you have 10 hours to consume 25 double hamburgers
We should
McDonald's.
specify where the McDonald's.
from McDonald's.
So is that a double cheeseburger?
Just a double. Wait. Let me think about this for a second. That is a very important question.
You were foiled last time by the sameness of each burger, so maybe...
Yeah, that's, once again, Gavin, you're giving me good tip. Could I do 10 no cheese, 10 cheese? Am I allowed to switch up the variation of these burgers?
I think as long as each burger, at minimum, contains 2 bits of a bun, 2 patties, and the things that come with a standard double, you can switch that up around whatever you want. You can add cheese, you can add a gherkin.
Okay. I'm a big fan of this too because we're doing this on the second episode of a back-to-back episode. I have weeks where I can practice.
Don't forget about your homework with the Discord and the puzzle and all that, though.
I'm looking at the McDonald's menu right now, and from what I can tell, they have 3 things that would fit the bill. I don't consider a Big Mac to be a double.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
Fuck you, a Big Mac.
These are the 3 things that are considered doubles. I'm just trying to get verification from you guys. This is y'all's bet.
Sure.
I'm trying to be an independent arbiter.
Yeah.
I see a double quarter pounder with cheese. I would assume that would count.
No, we're talking the singles menu.
Okay.
Just a double burger.
They sell a McDouble or a double cheeseburger. The photos look the same.
I think they are the same.
Maybe you should just do double cheeseburgers and maybe just you have permission to remove the cheese from however many you want.
Don't they melt the cheese? That seems like a lot of work.
Can he remove the pickles?
Yeah, I mean, I could do a custom order. They have a kiosk where I can hit the buttons, I think. Well, can I go in?
I feel like to make this easier, you just got to make sure you eat the bun and the patties from each one.
Okay.
Then you're free to do whatever you want with the gubbins and the flavors.
I think we have a bet.
But it's 25 in 10 hours.
25 doubles.
And you made it to 30 in 10 hours.
31.
But on 31 on singles.
A lot of buns. I don't think the bun will hold me back this time. I feel pretty good about this one.
I'm just counting on the fact that hopefully all that extra meat will gum up the works and you won't make it to 25. I'm nervous actually about this one because the first time you brought this ridiculous 50 burger challenge to me, I knew that there was absolutely no way. I didn't even have to put a second of thought into it. You were not going to do that. This, entirely doable. And you've obviously learned a lot from your previous attempt.
I don't think I've learned that much. I mean, I've learned a little bit, but...
And then all I have to do if you win is give you the value of $100.
No, wait.
What?
Wait a second.
What do you mean?
Wait a second. The value of 100? Can we check the tapes? Can someone check the tapes? Arbitrator.
What's the difference between $100 and the value of $100?
There's a lot different between the value of $100 and $100.
I could give you $100 worth of gold.
You could give me $100 worth of fucking pencils. What am I going to do with those?
Sell them on eBay.
I can't even sell my hats.
Maybe he wants to give you $101 bills. Maybe he wants to give you $52 bills. You don't know.
Oh, where do you get that many $2 bills?
The bank.
You can send it however you want. I don't care.
Okay.
So if he sent you $100 worth of pennies, you'd be okay with that?
Totally fine. Well, wait, no. There are pennies in Canada. So
you said any currency.
Yeah. Well, the bank would I don't know about that. Could I take pennies to a bank?
Yeah, it's a bank. What do you mean?
Canada doesn't have pennies, though. I don't know if we're against pennies as an entire concept.
They have foreign currency. They don't just ban all pennies.
Do you know that as a fact? Because they're pretty anti-penny here.
No, but if you bought, say you had a finite amount of currency that you were trying to change, and it came out to an odd amount of US dollars, and they had to dispense 4 pennies to make it up, I think that they would do that, and they would have pennies.
I don't know if they take the pennies.
Hey, how about this? Vancouver Island's not that far from America. If it's a big deal, hop on a bus, take your pennies down across the border, and, get them changed out at a Coinstar.
Oh, yeah, there's no issue with traveling right now. It's a great plan. It's easy to do.
Yeah, you could get into America pretty easily. I bet you couldn't get back to Canada.
No, I can't. I don't think I can. I don't think I can get into.
Do they have Coinstar at your grocery stores?
But then I lose. Coinstar's taking a cut at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, there's a cut being taken. If I give you $100 worth of pennies, the cut is you're wasting time and effort. You moving the pennies. You probably have to pay for someone to bring you to the bank.
I don't feel like I'm wasting time with that.
How many pennies is $100? Is that 100,000 pennies?
How did you do the math so fast, Jeff?
Yeah.
Wait, how many did you say?
I don't know. How many? What did I say? 100,000?
100.
It's 100 times 100. Hold on, let me do the math. carry the one.
The trick to solving math problems very quickly is just be wrong confidently.
Oh yeah, 10,000.
Just 2 zeros.
It's 2 zeros. 10, how much does 10,000 pennies weigh?
It's not light.
It'd be a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a duffel bag of 20s, it's like 20 pounds.
All right, let's do a digital handshake on this, Andrew.
Digital handshake, okay.
You feel like we've got all the details that you wanted in there?
I feel like it. I'm a little opposed to the pennies, but
I'm a little worried about the safety of it. Should we check in with a doctor to make sure it's safe for you to eat a pencil on camera?
It's not safe. Of course it isn't.
I'm going to win, so I'm not going to eat the pencil.
We agreed that you're going to eat the pencil dressed as Piss Boy, right?
Isn't that just my normal clothes?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
You heard it. You heard it here. He just admitted that he is Piss Boy in his normal clothes.
I said it last episode, too.
It's not an alter ego at that point. It's just an ego.
Can we maybe get some photographic progress?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I mean, I really think the strategy would be grading it down and then putting it in like...
It's your pencil theory again. You can't grate everything that you want to eat.
No, I'm not. Sorry, I thought we were talking about the pencils. I wouldn't
Oh.
grade the burgers. I thought you meant what would my approach be on the pencil if I lost. No, I'm not. There's no grading of the burger. I don't need to. It's going to be easy.
I was thinking, like, what are you going to put the burgers on if you grated
You don't have a burger grater?
just a grated burger on a pencil?
Is that a Canadian thing? Yeah. I'm gonna throw it in just for flavor, a little extra crunch.
Yeah. So I want photographic evidence of the progress of the burgers and then of the eventual pencil when you lose. And you can't cheat. Like, I've got no way of verifying. I'm not sure if you want to set me up with like a live webcam where I can monitor.
I didn't. Why would I cheat? I have integrity.
No, wait. We should do that. We should have a live feed that just I can see, and I'll be like the adjudicator.
It's gonna be ugly.
I know it's going to be ugly.
You think you want that? By burger 8, you're not gonna want that.
Look, I'm not going to be there watching the entire time. I'm just...
Well, then what's the point of having the webcam?
The point is that you won't cheat because you know that I might be watching.
Why would I cheat when I already lost the first bet? Why wouldn't I have cheated the first time?
Stream it in your private Discord server and let the 1,000 people watch it, and that's the reward.
Great idea.
Eric is now typing in all caps for us to end this podcast.
Okay.
I guess it's time. By the way, I think it'd be about 65 pounds of pennies, so it'd probably cost Gavin a fair amount to mail you $100 worth of pennies.
Oof.
So you should
Yeah.
factor that in, Gav.
I like hearing that.
I think we're settled on these details, and I think you've got the go-ahead to get this done before potentially the next episode of Face.
Okay.
Let me know how to help.
Okay.
Like if you need me to send some hamburgers, I will. What is it? Do you have DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever in Canada?
We do, but it's my building. It's complicated.
What do you live in an insane asylum or something?
It's I don't trust.
There's puddles of piss to navigate.
Gavin, what if we found out that this entire time we were friends with Andrew, he was criminally insane, and that few times he
What?
came down to Austin, he was on a day pass?
What is that? Wait,
To put a label on it, sure, that might be the case, but what does that really change?
It's a good point.
I have never broken the law. I want that on record.
What?
Haven't broken the law.
You must have by accident.
Oh, by accident, sure. Who hasn't?
You're a peeping Tom who watches women pee.
Yeah, that's not
that
legal.
can't be legal.
It was 2 weeks ago now that we were talking about burgers, the
Yeah.
old bet.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you didn't do it last week because you were busy
Not drawing.
just talking to everyone on the internet.
Yep. Yeah.
But this
That was
week,
a big job.
Oh, was it 3 weeks ago?
No,
It was 2 weeks ago.
it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters either. But you've done the 25 burgers, or you've at least
I-
tried.
I made an attempt. You don't know the result of the
No, I
attempt.
don't.
I talked a lot of shit the day of.
You talk so much shit. I'm going to get my slacks up because we were talking. we were talking a lot, but you weren't really giving me any details on how it was going.
It's sort of weird. Yeah, I didn't know because of the podcast. It's a strange thing to talk about with you. I mean, when you look at the bag originally, it seems very doable. Looking at a top down, that doesn't seem that bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't even be able to eat half of that. What you know? It doesn't look bad. That looks awful.
It looks like a
Yeah,
half a
it's-
cow in a bag.
Okay. Well, I guess compared to 50 singles, which is the scale I'm using, it's a lot easier to approach. That doesn't seem nearly as scary to me. I talked a lot of shit, and Gavin, I was kind of phrasing things in a weird way that was panicking Gavin. He did not understand how I was moving through these burgers with the speed in which I was doing it.
Every single time, I would give him a realistic problem on why it wasn't necessarily going to be a breeze. He would just say he was going to do it fast.
Yeah. I was going to eat faster than my stomach realized it was full.
Makes sense.
makes total sense. And here's my strategy. Okay, Gavin, you don't know this. You haven't seen this photo. This is what I did. This is my 200 IQ play. Last time, the buns were a problem. The buns really weighed me down. So I thought, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to prioritize meat first. So I went all plain with my burger order this time. All plain burgers, put on my own condiments. I used home condiments. This isn't an away game. And I stacked them. I was doing burger stacks. I came out of the gate with an 8 burger stack.
That's
just
the
coming out
grossest thing.
blazing.
So that's a looks like 6 patties.
That's 8.
Oh,
I think
8.
that's 8. Yeah.
So it's like an octoburger.
It's a bit, it's an 8 burger stack, and I slammed that thing down. It was a little too big for my mouth.
But that still leaves you with 10 bun pieces to eat.
Yeah, that's a later problem. I just needed to get through the meat. I felt like the buns would be easy to consume slowly over time. It was really.
I mean, I'm looking at some of our argument here. You were going on about. I was going to suggest, like I did last time, that you keep the oven on and keep the other ones warm so that you wouldn't be eating cold burgers. Andrew says, my plan is just to eat them all in the first hour so they don't get cold. And I just wrote 1 hour. 1. He said, also, no more condiments. This is a home game this time around. No more road condiments. 25 in 1 hour is what I'm saying. Andrew says, I'm big braining this thing. I said big brain, small stomach, regular human-sized stomach. You said if I eat quick enough, my body won't know it's full. Yeah. I said, that's like saying if I quickly fill this pint glass with beer, I'll be able to fit more beer in it.
I don't think the two relate at all.
Nah.
But
when all you're in fact left with is a cup full to the brim and now the beer is foamy. Speed has no play in this. There's nothing to do with speed in any of this.
No, you've clearly never tried this. Speed
Okay.
has a lot to do with everything. It's a sprint. Like, you run out of stamina in this, and if you can go fast, you can get a lot done. You need to do a lot in the first, I'd say, 30 minutes.
But it's just mass. The mass is the same, Andrew. It's
no,
the
but
same.
Eventually it becomes a mental game, and you can, if you're fast enough, you can clear more damage than before it becomes mental.
Okay, how did it go then? What came next?
Well, I did really well. I kept going. I had 3 hours left, and this is all that remained. This was it. I was down to 3 stacks.
You didn't eat everything in the first hour?
No, that was a little ambitious. For some reason in my head, I kept thinking doubles were singles, so I was thinking 25 burgers at one point. It was a great miscalculation.
So I want to make sure I understand it and can
Wait.
describe this to the audience.
I just got confused.
You can get into that, because I don't know, dude. It looks like you're left with 3 burgers that are all
3 stacks.
How big are the stacks?
6 stacks. 6 stacks.
So that's 18. Okay, 6 stacks of 6.
Are you telling me that you ordered 25 doubles, but then you were counting single patties as whole burgers?
There may have been a point in time in which I was thinking, well, yeah, when I was telling you the 20, when I said I'd done the 20 in the hour, that was just patties with the buns.
Right, so really, yeah, nowhere near the 50 that you have to get through.
So where's all the buns going?
Oh, I'm just stacking them to the side. I just have a bun stack on the corner of my desk.
So I'm looking at the 3 burger, the stack right now. This is with 3 hours to go. There's off camera a pile of buns, like a great
to
pyramid, if you will,
right.
a bun pyramid. Okay.
So you're saying that once per hour you have to eat one of those 6 stacks, and then all the remaining buns as well.
I'd eventually, well, my goal is, honestly, I just thought if I can get through the meat, I can get through the buns. It's the meat is the real problem.
What were you doing for the first 7 hours, though?
What do you mean? I was eating constantly.
This is 3 hours left, and you've got all of that left.
This is 3 hours. Yeah, that's what I had left with like 3 hours to go. I got to
ask: is a bun with 6 to 8 patties inside? Does that taste good?
It doesn't look good.
It tastes the same as a bun with 2. I don't think the number of patties changes the taste of them.
Wait, it would just throw
That's
the ratio.
ridiculous. The ratio's all off. Of course it tastes different.
What do you mean by the ratio?
Well, I mean, why bother eating any bun at all? If you've got 20 patties and 1 bun, you're just going to be mainly eating ground beef or whatever McDonald's burger is made of.
I just don't want to eat the McDonald's burger, though. You need some... I'm a classy individual. I need a bun on that. I'm not just going to eat the meat plain.
So you had nothing between the meat, no pickles or onions or sauce?
I would do ketchup. I brought
Okay.
my own ketchup into it, but yeah, no pickles. I heard apparently mustard can cause you to vomit in eating competitions or something, so I avoided that. No mustard this time.
Oh.
That's what I learned. The night before the competition, I Googled tips for competitive eating, and I read several sites, and every tip I would look at, I'd read and go, I'm not doing that. That seems like a lot of work. That seems like too much. I'm not interested in that. So, but I did learn the mustard apparently makes you throw up for some reason.
Did you throw up?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
There was no rule against it, but I felt like that'd be cheating. So I did.
Okay.
At one point during our conversation, I started cheering you on. I said, that makes sense. You know what? I want the best for you. I'm cheering you on. I actually think you can do it. You took that as some sort of weird Jedi mind trick that I was trying to play.
Yeah, it's not. I don't believe it. I still don't believe it. That's a blatant lie.
Then
There's
you
no
said
way you want me to.
25 might be ambitious, but I genuinely plan on knocking 12 of these things out within the first 30 minutes. Then once again, I'm reminding you of the actual maths that is 1 every 2 minutes.
Math is just a downer when you're doing something like this. You don't need to know the math. That just makes it seem harder.
I broke it down to bites. I was like, so 6 bites per burger. That's 1 bite every 20 seconds for half an hour.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. If you would lay it out that way, I'd say, no, I couldn't do that. But if I don't do the math and I just go purely on confidence, I'm very confident.
I was trying to phrase this challenge in a way that would make you see that it's not just going to be a breeze that you can speed through by just shoving stuff down your throat.
Deep down, I always know it's not going to be a breeze, Gavin, but if I pretend it is, then if it somehow ends up being, I'm just giving myself confidence, is what that is.
So did you successfully kid yourself, do you think?
Yeah, well, I always kid myself into thinking this is going to be no problem at all, and then unfortunate math and reality comes into play.
Yeah.
This is what I ended up with. This is the final
picture coming through now.
Picture. I ate 44 meat patties. That's all I had left, including the buns.
So that is the end of 10 hours. Is that a failure?
That's the end. That is a failure. I did not do it.
You got close.
I did get really close.
So what is that? There's
I started making smaller stacks.
I can see that you've double bunned the front one, and the one at the back looks like it's just buns.
It's just buns. Those are just buns.
I think you screwed yourself by throwing off your bun to meat. I mean, you can't just eat buns with a bun inside. That's got to be gross.
No, I didn't. I never made a bun burger. That was just stacking. That was trying to make a nice picture to show what I had left. That was it.
And then there's it looks like 2 halves of 2 different burgers.
Yeah, it
Like
was
you
a
thought,
mess.
I can't finish this one, but I'll eat the next half of the next one.
Honestly, yes. Because when you look at a bunch of burgers and they're all full, it seems intimidating. But I was like, if I can make these all halves, this is going to seem a lot easier. So I just started eating multiple burgers.
God, you are all about the mind games played on yourself. I love it.
It's just getting yourself over the edge. And I couldn't do it. But I went all the way down.
What did you do with the leftover burgers?
I got rid of the final 6.
You just threw them away. You didn't.
I don't think I'll eat another burger in 2020. I can't. It was a rough one.
You didn't think to go downstairs and give them to your girlfriend in the alley, maybe?
No, I don't know.
Those buns look like they could soak up a lot of piss.
God,
that felt very forced, Jeff.
No.
Krampus doesn't do that.
Wow. Okay, so what another failure, but impressively close that time.
I did way better than last time.
Yeah, you were at like 2/3, if that, last time.
So next time you're gonna do it.
No, it's not. No, I can't.
I think we've finally broken you. It's out of your system. I don't think you have burger confidence.
I don't. I've lost my burger confidence because the first time I made enough errors where I thought I could make corrections, and I made those corrections. And if I can't get through the meat, then I can't get through the buns. So it's not.
You're a perennial loser when it comes to burger and applesauce competitions.
I'm proud of one of those. But yeah, that is factually correct.
Huh.
What do you owe Gav now? What was the bet for?
Oh boy.
It was gonna be. I was gonna have to pay him 100, but I think
it
were
was
gonna pay me
100 both
50.
ways. I think I'm
okay.
down. I think I'm down 150 to you now.
Okay.
Which I don't know, puts me in a tough spot, and kind of forced to make some moves here.
Yeah. Should we briefly, with all this confidence flying around the room, do we want to briefly mention that in between the last recording and this one, Jeff, Andrew suggested a third burger bet and then turned his back on it immediately?
Oh my God, I forgot it. What was that? Was that like a momentary lapse in sanity? That was so weird.
I felt so bad that he was gonna be double or nothing again, and I just couldn't let him go through with it. I was like, I don't care what you've thought of, it still isn't gonna happen.
It just seemed desperate. I wasn't sure what was going on.
No, there was no desperation at all. It was I woke up really early that day. I was in the shower, and I was like, you know what? Those burgers are no fucking problem. I can eat those burgers, no problem at all.
Done it twice.
Yeah. I had a slight adjustment. I was like, you know what? This is a mental game, and I think if I make this small change, I can make this work. I think I'm good. I had so much burger confidence from between like 4 a.m. until like 9 a.m. Then it began to reduce a little bit, and then I had a burger in the evening, and it was shot. It was shot by I had one burger, and I was grounded back to reality.
Because you were aggressively confident for a little bit.
I felt really good about it from 4 to 7.
It was on Monday. You started the text conversation with, "I'm feeling spicy this morning, Gavin." Jeff replies with, "What does that even mean?" Andrew says, 25 double burgers, round 3, double or nothing again. But if I lose, we bump it from a pencil to a 30-centimeter ruler.
Yeah.
The burger confidence is back. I have a new strategy. Jeff saying that's a ton more wood.
That's so much wood in a ruler.
Yeah, and then I think, so that was at 9 a.m. Oh, it went down a little bit. Oh, yeah, when the burger confidence hits, there's no stopping it. That was about 3 in the afternoon. By 7:30, the burgers are off the table. Not possible.
What happened was I was like a fighter who was in retirement and just got a little excited for a minute, and I did one sparring round, and I realized this is not. I'm talking beyond my depth.
I don't think it's ever a big deal when a boxer who's never won a fight comes out of retirement.
I never said it was a big deal. I just said I felt like I could finally win one.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Andrew. Every once in a while, I go to the beach and I'll think I'm going to go surfing again, and then I get to the moment when it's time to surf, and I go, that's a lot of work. I'm not. You know what? Never mind.
So what was
leave it to my youth?
What was the revelation you had that didn't pay off?
Well, I mean, you bring up a great point, Gavin, and that you'd think that me never being successful at it would make me less motivated, but it just makes me want to do it more. I feel like it's this mountain I'm going to eventually climb. I just haven't got there yet. And your question was, what made me realize? What was like my sparring session? That like, is that what you were asking?
I guess you've already explained like what brought it on. And
I had a burger. There was nothing that brought it on. I just felt I had the burger confidence. I woke up with the burger in my mind. I was like, I bet I could fucking do this. Let's do this. But that's why it's not gone. This isn't not going to happen. We have a deal. We have the framework of a deal in place now. And when I get that burger confidence back, I can just roll with it. And I don't even need to talk to you. There's no negotiating.
Your stomach is the same size.
Yeah, but this is a mental game, I think, and I need to get there. That was a big factor of it. If I'm going to do this, it's going to be a day where I have ridiculous amounts of confidence about it, and I didn't have that after eating that burger. I felt a little full.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Gavin, I think he's 100% right. I do think it's all mental, and if he can strike while the confidence is high, like if you would have, the reality is, Andrew, if when you woke up that morning and you felt that burger confidence, if you'd immediately placed that order and had those burgers in your house within an hour, you probably could have done it right then.
I would have had a huge start, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And that's all I think I need. I think I just need that initial momentum, and I can carry the rest of the way, because I was close last time. It wasn't like I missed it by a lot. I was pretty close.
You weren't close enough to try it again.
Yeah.
I had like 42 of the patties. Like, that's pretty good.
The patty is part of the burger. You're saying it like it's like you had 42 burgers. You had 42 patties.
You also lost count to like a factor of 2. You thought you're eating singles thinking they were full burgers.
Your math was so wrong.
my math was really wrong, but once again, it's a confidence thing. I don't need the math for it to be right. Like, if anything, my math being bad just makes it better.
I think you've lost the plot, and I think you're going to try it again. You're going to lose again. You're going to say, "I'm never trying this again." 6 months down the line, burger round 4. I think we're in a constant face cycle here.
Until I do it, I think it's going to be a thing, and it can be done. Like, people have eaten way more burgers. It's not an impossible thing, but it'll happen one day. I will climb that mountain. I will climb Burger Mountain.